Violence marked the close of Liberian President George Weah's re-election campaign on Sunday, with scuffles between his supporters and members of the opposition breaking out during a parade in capital Monrovia. No official toll was available on Sunday evening, but journalists counted at least 5 men with injuries, some with large gashes on their heads. Supporters of former football star Weah's political group, the Coalition for Democratic Change, and members from the opposition ALCOP threw stones at each other, and in response, police fired tear gas. The main political parties have pledged peaceful polls, but the deaths of 3 people in clashes last month between rival political camps have fueled fears of electoral violence in the country, which suffered back-to-back civil wars between 1989 and 2003 that left more than 250,000 people dead. Peace and development have been listed among voters' top priorities before they head to the first round of voting on. To win a candidate must get at least 50% plus 1 of the votes cast. I'm joined now by UN Mission and former spokesman, UN Mission in Sierra Leone, Patrick Coker. Mr. Coker, thank you for joining us on the news of this hour. What do you think makes the Liberian election scheduled for tomorrow peculiar, and what do you make of the happenings ahead of this date?
Thank you very much. The elections coming up tomorrow in Liberia is quite peculiar and very symbolic because it reinforces the desires by the Liberian people to pursue democratic approaches to managing their affairs, especially post some civil war. As we speak, this will be the 4th major elections since after the United Nations left Liberia. And we believe, even though there have been skirmishes, indeed, some fatal, as it happened yesterday, we believe that Liberians still expect a fair and free election, notwithstanding.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it and seeing how it also impact on the country moving forward from its last civil war as recent as 20 years ago. But there are some incidents of violence that have now been reported. Why is this peculiar, particularly on the continent?
Election violence is quite peculiar, as we can see here and there. Many politicians are bad losers, and their followers definitely take instructions from their leaders. However, the moment the electorate revert to violence, especially the use of weapons, it becomes something else. And I can assure you that in the absence of peace, the rule of the jungle takes place. However, it is not unusual to find these kinds of violence because supporters tend to take their support beyond just the political dictates. They also go emotional. As it were yesterday, the supporters started stoning each other, especially when they were supposed to remain on their lanes, one going on this side and the other one on that side. In Liberia, it is not unusual to have political party supporters carrying out rallies at the end of their campaign season. But I think as the democracies and their practices develop in Africa, I believe that we will understand that violence does not have a place in elections. In any case, you will agree with me that even the capital of democracy, have experienced violence here and there.
So the 57-year-old George Weah, who's the incumbent president, came into power in 2018 and talking about arguing that looking backwards at crimes committed in the past might not be the best way to achieve development. There are quite a number of people in Liberia calling for both an economic and war crime court to be able to judge some of the errors and the crimes committed in the past. How badly do you think this will potentially hurt his chances at this election?
Well, I must say my experience in Liberia tells me that the current president did not engage in the civil crisis in Liberia. Indeed, he is seen as one that promoted peace throughout the conflict. For example, he actually sponsored Liberia's football teams during the conflict with his personal resources. Going forward, you also agree with me that there was a peace agreement. And at that Accra Peace Agreement, they came to all the parties involved agreed to resolve their conflict within the country, more or less giving a blanket amnesty. In any case, that does not preclude the fact that there are still civil society practitioners who believe that there can be no justice without trial, and they continue to pursue those who committed the heinous crimes to be tried by the international law. I must say here that whichever of the politicians campaigns with this tagline is trying to buy votes.
All right.
I believe that if there's going to be any serious effort to pursue those who committed crimes, the international community will interact with the government in power and the people, and they will institute measures to do that.
Former spokesman, UN Mission in Sierra Leone, Patrick Coker, thank you for talking to us. All eyes on Liberia as they decide who becomes president for the next 6 years. Thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you very much.